What's going on, everyone? It's Sam Hogue,
Good morning. My name's Josiah
and
Hudock.
today we're going to be going over why sparrows are objectively the worst bird, the explanation of my exponentially growing hatred of the Passeridae family of avian creatures.
So I'm actually going to do this next part in my low voice. This is a presentation.
So, Josiah, what exactly is a sparrow?
Well, Sam, I'm so glad you asked that because there's a lot of confusion. We actually made a whole slide about that exact topic. So a sparrow is actually a type of plump brown bird, and they're known for their powerful beaks. They're very saturated within the human culture all throughout history, as seen by many examples in all different continents. They're actually seed eaters, although they have been known to eat insects or small children.
And to identify a sparrow, it's not really that hard, but some of our viewers may be a tad confused. So, looking at the first arrow, we can see this is a bird, and that eliminates at least 2/3 of the animal kingdom. And looking at arrow number 2, this is not a normal beak by any means, but rather a powerful beak. You can see it on its face. And number 3, it's got feet.
And one thing I will add on the feet when you're looking at them, as you may often do, this can get confusing. You'll notice that they're not webbed, in contrast to tigers who actually have webbed feet. Joshua Barnhart.
And just some more information for you guys about sparrows. The male is responsible for the building of the nest, and during construction, he will try to attract a female. This proves the homophobic tendencies, which is so disrespectful, especially coming out of Pride Month.
Yeah, scrub-a-lub-a-dub-dub. Sparrows don't bathe with soap and warm water like I do, but they do bathe, and they do bathe often, as you will often see them bathing while they bathe often.
That is true. So sparrows can survive between 4 and 5 years in the wild, and that's older than some kids do. I don't understand how people don't see this as a problem.
Wake up, America. We need to recognize this for the threat that it is.
The main predator. Sorry, I tried to talk there, but my microphone was turned off, similar to Andrew Yang in the 2020 Democratic debate. Hashtag justice for Yang. Anyways, the main predators of sparrows are dogs, cats, foxes, and snake. Here's a question for you. What's the most common bird in the world?
We'll give you a few moments to think about your answer, and then check back once you're ready to see if you were correct.
Pause the video now to think. And time is up. Let's see who got it right. The correct answer was
Sparrows.
Sparrow.
Congratulations if you got it right.
Good job
Chance
to
Ryman.
those of you who got it right. All right, so Josiah, could you explain to me your first ever encounter with a sparrow?
You know what? That's a bit hard for me to talk about, just because there's so much pain associated with it. You know, not just because I was playing League of Legends on a summer day and had died 15 times as Yasuo, but when I looked outside of my window, what I saw there truly stunned me. It was a bird, plump and brown in nature, and when I saw it, I thought that must have been the ugliest thing I'd ever seen in my life. It made me angry. It made me yell. It almost made me violent. I'm so glad I was alone because I'm afraid I may have harmed someone. I actually did punch a hole into the drywall right next to the hole I punched when I was angry at my parents for getting a divorce. So it's a bit traumatic, but you know, I look at it as actually a positive thing because it sparked this anti-sparrow movement, which I've been able to lead with you, which I think will change society for the better.
Yeah, that's good. Good optimism there. Oh, do you want to know my first encounter with
Hey,
a
Sam.
sparrow?
What was your first encounter with a sparrow?
So my first encounter was probably when I was 6 or 7. It was Thanksgiving dinner, so we invited relatives over, and so cousins were there, and obviously my uncle. So halfway through, he starts leading me
No,
upstairs.
Sam. Sparrow.
What?
Your first sparrow
Oh,
encounter.
my bad. So I was probably 6 or 7, right? It's Thanksgiving dinner, and the same thing's happening. But I look outside, and there's a bird there. I say to myself, there's a bird there. And I did some research and found out it was a sparrow and didn't think much of it. But then Josiah said, I hate sparrows. And being a friend of Josiah's, I was like, I hate sparrows as well. And that's kind of why I'm here.
I thought that we were kind of on the same page here and that we both hated them independently. I didn't know you were just doing it to kind of make me feel better,
Oh,
I
no,
guess.
I hate sparrows, dude. So anyways, going on
not
to Mao Zedong, Josiah,
fully
if you want to take
convinced.
this slide.
So yeah, Mao Zedong, 1893 to 1976. You probably know him for his atrocities during his rule in China. But he actually considered sparrows to be one of the 4 great pests. And using his leadership and the support of the people, as he was a very charismatic man, he was actually able to eliminate many sparrows. He did this by, in 1958, actually ordering all the people to go outside their houses and bang pots together and make loud noises, which would make the sparrows fly up, and they wouldn't land because there's so many loud noises, and they'd end up just dying of exhaustion and falling out of the air. He'd also catch sparrows in nets where he'd poison and kill them. He'd destroy their nests. He'd do anything he could to kill these birds, and ended up killing actually about 1 billion sparrows during this period. And as a result of that, crop production actually dramatically increased.
I want to take a moment of silence here. Rest in peace, XXX Tentacion. So some examples of sparrows for those of you who are wondering. There's the house sparrow, the Eurasian tree sparrow, the one sitting outside my house right now on a he's gone now, sorry. Parrot-billed sparrow, Joshua Barnhart, the yellow-throated bush sparrow. Those are about all of the sparrows. But the atheists in the room might be wondering, how did a sparrow evolve into what it is now? So Josiah, you want to take this next demographic?
This is a demographic graphic, you're correct. There's really not much to say here, as it is pretty self-explanatory. As you can see, it just grows an ugly, stupid little powerful beak, and overall just gains more and more ugliness.
Here are the stats. We're going to go through some statistics, facts, and logic. So sparrows are the most common type of bird. Sparrows also account for 1/3 of all the plastic in the ocean.
This includes straws, plastic bags, and dumpsters.
That's plastic. So you know how turtles are just dying?
I do know that.
It's because of the sparrows, right? So all those save the beaches, quick help, the turtles are eating plastic bags instead of jellyfish. You have the sparrows to blame. Speaking of sparrows, sparrows have capabilities of flying at 31 miles per hour. That's pretty fast if you ask me. They better not be doing that in an urban neighborhood, though, which is a speed limit of 25 miles per hour, unless otherwise stated.
My dad...
And finally... Oh, go ahead.
My dad can run a total of 13 miles per hour, which we tested against a speed tracker road sign. He also died when I was 7.
And finally, sparrow rhymes with stupid. I don't think I have to go into much detail.
I'm now realizing this is probably the most unfunny thing we've ever created. But why don't we go into this demographic? Sam, you want to give an explanation on that?
Yeah, absolutely. So on the left, we have sparrows. And on the right, we have things I hate. So you can see on the left, there's Joshua Barnhart, sparrow. And on the right, Earth Day, something I hate. But in the middle, sparrows. Sparrows are sparrows. And something I hate. And we also have a Bible verse for the 3 Alabama viewers. Are not 5 sparrows sold for 2 pennies? Josiah, can you apply some hermeneutics to this real quick?
No, I actually can't do that.
Oh, it means because they're insignificant and worthless, practically.
I do agree with that, and I'm glad that you could extract that value that I could not. But what's really important here is this question. What's the big deal? You may think to yourself, oh, sparrows are kind of cute. I like sparrows. I think they're kind of kawaii. I think that sparrows are my aesthetic. I like the way they feel when you touch them. I like the way they fly away and sit in the trees. Why are you trying to tell me that they're so bad? Why are you trying to tell me that there's a big deal about them? Well, guess what? There is that big deal, and I'm about to explain exactly why. Sparrows are known for murder. Sparrows kill many other species of birds, such as tree swallows and bluebirds, for the following reasons. And as you can see, there are none. They are violent, destructive for no reason. Ask any birder on a birder forum, and they will tell you countless horror stories of how their baby bluebirds have been decapitated and murdered in the name of a sparrow jihad. Sparrows are also polygamous.
Yep, go ahead. You can take the slide just
Oh, thank you, Sam. You're very generous. One male sparrow can be with actually several other female sparrows, and the female sparrow then rages, as is understandable. But what's not understandable is how they do this. They don't kill the male, but the babies of the other female sparrows. That's right, they are literally killing infants over their own choices.
Sparrows are destructive and violent. Sparrows contribute nothing to society. I can't stress that enough, not like them.
Hey, Sam.
Yes, Josiah.
I've been listening to your presentation, and I'm
glad.
I gotta admit, you got some good points. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't fully convinced at the start, but you reeled me in. What I'm really wondering is, though, what am I supposed to do? How can I help you?
You want to know how you can take action?
That's exactly what I'm asking.
I'm so glad you asked. So here's how you guys can take action. First, call your local representative. Let them know you care. Say, hey, I don't like sparrows. Telling other people changes things. The second thing you can do is to change your profile picture. Get awareness for this cause on Instagram by changing it to brown, as the color of the sparrow was brown. Third is to kill every sparrow on site. That's pretty self-explanatory. And finally, nest destruction. How can you destroy a nest, Josiah?
Well, there's actually many ways. But what's actually more important is, can you destroy this nest?
That is true.
Prohibition outside of what we're explaining to you? Well, the good news for you is I actually looked into this myself. I made a post on r/legal advice. And aside from a few comments, which were taken down by moderators before I got to read them, the response was generally yes. I also found that house sparrows are not protected by any federal law in the United States. If you don't live in the United States, who's gonna stop you? Let's be real here. You can kill them with pellet guns or rocks. Those are probably the two simplest. My favorite is with a tennis or badminton racket. We also have a biblical reference.
So David triumphed over the Philistine with a sling and a stone. Without a sword in his hand, he struck down the Philistine and killed him. So this is symbolic of how you can kill a sparrow by a sling. You don't need a sword. You don't even need a tennis racket, although some do prefer. You can kill them with a sling and a stone. Coming up here, we have a poem by Benjamin Hudock, so I just want to kind of bring in some music to get in the mood. The river disintegrates, and black sparrows gorge on bright yellow mangoes, and still, dusk green trees, and the forest didn't need them, casting verdant tendrils down, down, down,
down, down,
down, until the silk broken soil floor. I hate sparrows. The rain-wet dirt was so clear. You could touch it. You could sit there with the sparrows. And they don't need you. And why isn't that enough? I hate sparrows. This was made by Hudock B. Untitled number 47. Heck. An anthology. Edited by Madison Cornedes. 2nd edition. 2019. pp. 50.
You said sorry.
51 through 52.
Thank you, Sam.